Have you ever noticed that airplane windows are always round? It might seem like a small design choice, but there's actually a very serious reason behind it. In fact, early airplanes used square windows, and that design ended up causing airplanes to break apart in midair. So why does the shape of a window matter so much? The answer has everything to do with what happens to an airplane when it climbs high into the sky. Pressure. When an airplane reaches cruising altitude, usually around 35,000 feet, the air outside becomes extremely thin. There simply isn't enough oxygen for people to breathe. So airplanes pressurize the cabin, pumping in air so passengers can sit comfortably during the flight. But this creates a huge difference between the pressure inside the airplane and the pressure outside. And that pressure is constantly pushing outward on the aircraft. The entire body of the plane has to withstand that force every flight, every hour. Now imagine what happens if the windows are square. Square shapes have sharp corners, and sharp corners concentrate stress. When pressure pushes against a square window, the force builds up in those corners. Over time, tiny cracks can start forming there, and cracks in an airplane's structure are extremely dangerous. This exact problem happened in the early days of jet travel. In the 1950s, a British jet airliner called the de Havilland Comet used square windows. At first, everything seemed fine. The aircraft was revolutionary for its time and became the world's first commercial jet airliner. But after several flights, something strange began happening. Airplanes started breaking apart in midair. Investigators were shocked. After studying the wreckage, they discovered that tiny cracks had formed around the corners of the square windows. Each time the plane flew, the cabin pressurized and depressurized again. That repeated stress slowly weakened the metal around the windows. Eventually, the cracks spread through the aircraft's body, and the structure failed. It was a tragic discovery, but it taught engineers an incredibly important lesson. The problem wasn't the windows themselves, it was the corners. Sharp corners focus stress in one spot, but round shapes spread pressure evenly. Engineers quickly realized the solution was simple. Remove the corners. By switching to round or oval windows, the pressure distributes smoothly around the frame instead of building up at a single point. This dramatically reduces the chance of cracks forming. Round shapes are naturally stronger under pressure. You can actually see this principle used all over engineering. Submarines use round windows. Pressure tanks are cylindrical. Even soap bubbles form spheres because that shape distributes pressure evenly. Airplane windows follow the same idea. But modern airplane windows have another clever design feature. They're not made from a single pane of glass. Most airplane windows actually have 3 layers of strong acrylic. The outer pane handles the pressure difference between the cabin and the outside air. The middle pane acts as a backup layer, and the inner pane protects the others from scratches and passenger contact. If you've ever looked closely at an airplane window, you might notice a tiny hole near the bottom. That small hole is called a bleed hole. It helps equalize pressure between the layers so the outer pane carries most of the stress. It's a tiny detail, but an important one. All of these design choices work together to make airplane windows incredibly strong. So the next time you're sitting on a plane looking out that small oval window at the clouds below, remember, that simple rounded shape isn't just a design choice. It's a critical piece of engineering that helps keep airplanes safe at 35,000 feet. And that's why airplane windows are round.